The sun is sinking low behind the pines, painting gold across the sky. Another day has come and gone. I'm sitting on this old front porch with quiet on my mind, thinking about the ways you've walked beside me all this time. It wasn't always easy, wasn't always clear, but looking back I see your hand was always right here. In the small things, in the ordinary, in the moments in between, it's sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs whispered to the evening air. No grand stage, no shining spotlight, just a heart that knows you're there. For every blessing I remember and the ones I never knew, I lift these sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs. There were days of laughter ringing through this tired old house. There were nights of tearful kneeling when I had my doubts. You met me in the middle of my joy and of my pain, and every season taught my soul to trust you just the same. I don't need a mountain moment or a miracle display, just the steady love you've given day by day. In the quiet and the humble, that's where my gratitude grows. It's sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs floating on a country breeze. Thank you for the grace that found me. Thank you for your mercy, for the strength to face tomorrow and the peace that pulls me through. I lift these sunset prayers, simple hallelujah. I used to chase the bigger picture, thinking faith was something loud, but you showed me in the stillness you're just as strong without a crowd. In a child's laugh, in a warm meal, in a friend who calls to say, I'm praying for you tonight. At the end of a long, hard day, you are present in the ordinary, sacred in the small, and the simplest kind of worship might be the truest of them all. It's sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs rising with a fading light, for the battles that you carried me through and the wrongs you made right, for the breath inside my lungs and the hope that's always new. I lift these sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs. Hallelujah for the valleys, hallelujah for the hills, hallelujah for the promises you are keeping still. Hallelujah in the waiting, hallelujah in the rain, hallelujah for the mercy that outlasts my pain. I don't need a choir of angels or 1,000 voices strong, just this grateful heart and one more song. It's sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs as the day gives way tonight. With a thankful heart I lay it down, trusting you with all my life. If tomorrow brings its struggles, I know you'll see me through, so I'll keep on lifting simple hallelujah. Now the stars are shining softly and the world has settled down. There's a peace I can't explain every time you're around. And as long as I am breathing, this will always be my truth. I'll raise my sunset prayers and simple hallelujahs to you. There's a long stretch of highway running past my old hometown, where the fields meet the horizon and the sun goes sinking down. I've walked that road with questions, kicking gravel with my boots, carrying a load of worry and a heart that needed truth. Thought I had the answers, thought I knew which way to go, but every mile without you just left me feeling lost and low. Then in the quiet of the evening, with the wind against my face, I found grace in the dusty road, mercy where the wild winds blow. Right there in my brokenness, you let your faithful love be known. Not in fame or fortune's glow, but in the miles that shake my soul. I found grace in the dusty road. There were dreams I left behind me, like old fences falling down. There were plans that didn't work out in a world that spins around. I've tasted disappointment like dirt upon my tongue, but even in the failure I could see what you had done. You were shaping something deeper than the things I couldn't hold, teaching me that treasure ain't always made of gold. Every detour, every bend was leading me back home. I found grace in the dusty road, hope in every heavy load. When the night is long and lonely and the truth is hard to hold, you are closer than the heartbeat in this chest of flesh and bone. There is grace in the dusty road. Just how good you are. Soft breakdown in the dusty road, not the kind this world bestows, but the kind that heals a restless heart and gently lets it know that I am loved beyond my past, beyond the things I've done. this long road home. So if you're walking through the back roads with a burden on your soul, and the map you've been depending on don't seem to make you whole, just remember in the struggle, you are never on your own. There is grace in the dusty road. I was standing in a field at dusk with the horizon in my eyes, crimson streaks and fading gold painted across the sky. The world felt small and quiet, like it paused to catch its breath, and every worry I was holding didn't seem so heavy yet. With boots pressed in the red clay and the wind against my skin, I felt a holy whisper calling me again. Not in thunder, not in flames, but in the calling of my name. Beneath the wide open heaven, I found where I belong, where the maker of the mountains has known me all along. No walls, no grand cathedral, just mercy falling down beneath a wide open heaven. Your grace surrounds. I've chased a lot of answers through the noise of city lights, tried to fill the empty spaces with temporary highs, but nothing ever settled like your presence in the breeze. Nothing ever healed me like falling to my knees. Out here there's no pretending, no crowd to impress, just a heart laid bare in honest emptiness. And in that simple surrender, I finally understood. Beneath the wide open heaven, where the stars begin to shine, I feel the weight of glory and the peace that's hard to find. No fame, no recognition, just truth I can't deny. Beneath the wide open heaven, you hear my cry. The same hands that shaped the valleys and hung the moon in place are the hands that hold my future and steady every step I take. You see beyond my failures, beyond the things I've done, and still you call me chosen, still you call me son. The sky keeps stretching endless like your mercy over me, and every breath I'm breathing feels like being set free. Beneath the wide open heaven, I'm no longer afraid, for the God who paints the sunset walks with me each day. When tomorrow feels uncertain, and the road is hard to trace. Beneath a wide open heaven, I see your face. Every doubt grows quiet, every fear grows small, when I remember you made it all. If you hold the stars in place, if you call them each by name, then surely you can hold this fragile heart the same. So I'll trust you with my questions, trust you with my plans, trust you in the waiting, trust your greater hands. Beneath a wide open heaven, with a night wind in the trees, I find a deeper worship in simple melodies. No spotlight and no stage, just gratitude profound. Beneath a wide open heaven, your love is found. So when the world feels crowded, my faith begins to thin, I'll step back out where earth meets sky and let you speak again. 'Cause everything feels clearer where the skyline stretches wide. Beneath the wide open heaven, you are by my side. So when the world feels crowded and my faith begins to thin, I'll step back out where earth meets sky and let you speak again. 'Cause everything feels clearer where the skyline stretches wide. Beneath the wide open heaven, you are by my side. I came down to the river with a burden on my back. Sun was sinking slow behind me, light was fading into black. Water moving soft and steady, like it knew just where to go. While I stood there lost and restless, with a heart that didn't know. Boots pressed in the muddy shoreline, hands trembling in the breeze. I didn't have no perfect prayer, just Lord help me please. And in that quiet stretch of evening, with the current at my feet, kneeling at the river's edge, with every regret I've ever said, let the water wash it over every tear I've ever shed. I surrender all the heavy, all the shame I never confessed, kneeling at the river's edge. I've been trying to outrun every mistake I made, building walls around my heart, watching hope slowly fade. But the river keeps on flowing, it don't hold a yesterday. And the grace that you keep showing is calling me to stay. There's something about that moving water, makes a broken man believe that maybe what I'm holding on to is something I can leave. So I bend these stubborn knees on the banks of mercy wide, kneeling at the river's edge, where your forgiveness covers me. Not because I earned a thing, but because you set me free. All the guilt I carried here sky turned into purple, stars waking one by one, and I felt a peace come over me, like the day was finally done. You didn't speak in thunder, didn't part the water wide, but in the stillness of that moment, I felt you by my side. You don't wait for perfect people, you meet us where we stand. And sometimes the greatest miracle is simply holding out your hand. Kneeling at the river's edge, I leave my past behind. Let your living water clean the corners of my mind. You are faithful through the years, through every fall and misstep. Kneeling at the river's edge. Wash over me, wash over me. Every hidden memory, set my weary spirit free. Let the current carry what I cannot change. Let your mercy bury all my guilt and shame. I came here broken, I rise restored from this riverbank with a heart made new. Lord, kneeling at the river's edge, nothing left to prove, just a soul that found forgiveness and a reason to move. If the road ahead is winding, I won't walk it with regret, 'cause I found new life at the river's edge. Now every time I pass that water underneath the evening sky, I remember where you met me and how you heard my cry. And no matter where this journey takes these boots I wear, I'll carry that peace from the river's edge everywhere. I've been walking through the fire with the weight of who I am, trying hard to keep it together, doing the best I can. There are nights I lie awake with worries I can't explain, and I wonder if I'm strong enough to stand through the rain. I've seen plants fall into pieces like a house built on the sand, but even in the breaking, I'm still held by your hand. And when my grip begins to weaken and I feel like letting go, I am held by nail-scarred hands, hands that bled to understand every fear and every failure, every broken, fragile plan. When the ground beneath me shaking and I barely feel I stand, I am held by nail-scarred hands. I've tried to hide my weakness like you didn't already know, tried to outrun my reflection in the mirror of my soul. But you don't turn from sinners, you don't run from shame. You stepped into by my name. The cross was never distant, it was always part of the plan. Proof that love would go to any length to save a broken man. So when the storm is raging and I don't know where to land, I am held by nail-scarred hands, stronger than my shifting sand. Grace that covers all my past and rewrites who I am. Not by might and not by power, but by mercy's steady stand. I am held by nail-scarred hands. The same hands that shaped the mountains and scattered stars in place are the hands that hold my future and won for me this grace. They carry every burden, they calm the fiercest sea, and they're never too exhausted to carry me. I don't have to fight alone, I don't have to understand why the road is sometimes broken when I'm held by nail-scarred hands. I am held by nail-scarred hands through the fire and the land, through the valleys dark and low, through the places I don't plan. There is nothing that can take me from the grip of the great I am. I am held by nail-scarred hands. When I'm weak, you are strong. When I'm lost, you lead me on. When I fall, you don't let go. When I doubt, you let me know that the cross was not the end. It was love that chose to stand, and that love is still holding me in nail-scarred hands. I am held by nail-scarred hands, gentle, firm, and faithful hands. Hands that lifted up the fallen, hands that heal and understand. And when my final breath is taken, and before you I will stand, I'll still be held by nail-scarred hands. So let the winds come howling, let the trials test my stand. There's a peace that passes reason when I place it in your hands. And whatever lies before me, this will always be my plan to rest secure in nail-scarred hands. So let the winds come howling, let the trials test my stand. There's a peace that passes reason when I place it in your hands. The railroad gets dark when the sun goes down and the wind turns cold and wild. There are voices in the silence trying to scare me like a child. I've been walking through the wilderness with a burden I can't name, trying hard to keep on moving while my heart is tired and strained. But somewhere in the distance I can hear a gentle call, like a shepherd in the night who won't let his lambs get lost. And even when I can't see clearly, even when my knees might shake, I am safe in the shepherd's shadow, held close where the fear can't go. When the wolves of doubt are howling and the wind shadow. I've known the sting of lonely places where the world feels far away, where the prayers I whispered softly felt like they just drifted gray. But you don't leave me in the valley, you don't turn your face from pain. You walk right through the darkest parts and you call me by my name. Your rod and staff, they comfort like a song I've always known. And I find peace in the promise that I'm never on my own. So I'll keep taking steps forward, even when I'm weak. I am safe in the shepherd's shadow, underneath your mercy's glow. When the night is long and heavy and my heart feels worn and slow, you are steady, you are faithful, you won't leave me here alone. I am safe in the shepherd's shadow. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my fear, and you pour out grace like oil till my soul can breathe in here. Surely goodness and your mercy have been chasing after me, even when I didn't want them, even when I couldn't see. So I will not be shaken by the darkness on the hill, 'cause my shepherd stands beside me and his voice is calm and still. I am safe in the shepherd's shadow, where the broken find their home, where the weary find their comfort, where the lost are finally known. You are strength in all my weakness, you are peace in every storm. I am safe in the shepherd's shadow. When I feel the night closing in, when I hear the wolves again, I will remember who you are, and I will trust your heart. You are the shepherd, I am your own. You won't abandon what you have known. Even in the darkest valley, you are leading me. I am safe in the shepherd's shadow, gentle old hands around my soul. Not a place where trouble vanishes, but a place where I am whole. And no matter what tomorrow brings, this truth will never go. I am safe in the shepherd's shadow. So I'll walk on through the midnight with my head held a little higher, 'cause the shepherd of my heart is the keeper of the fire. And when the morning breaks in glory and the shadows disappear, I will still be standing, safe in the shepherd's shadow. Right here.